Welcome to the second episode of the Spirit Essence Show. We are so excited to be able to, again, bring our community together, to be able to do a spiritual chit chat, to gather and share information in just a casual and beautiful way. Just casual conversation with some of my soul sisters. So before we even get started, I just want to give a shout out to the audience for coming and joining us. We super appreciate you being here. And then I would love to just do a quick introduction of the ladies who work with me. So I'm Tara Diana. I am Spirit Essence by Tara Diana, and this is the Spirit Essence Show. So my guests are always the same ladies that co-host this with me. It's the beautiful intuitive medium, Nancy Brady.
Hey everyone.
And my witch and the best tarot reader I've ever come across, Jody Ann.
Baby, thank you.
I know, gotta pump you up, sister. And of course, our multi-dimensional healer and channel, the lovely, beautiful, the best hair I've ever seen, Lizina.
Hey.
So this will be our second episode, my friends. We are moving into a space where this is going to be a bi-monthly endeavor on our behalf, and we hope that you join us as often as you see fit and you enjoy each and every episode that we put together. We have the next episode will be on the 20th, and Paula Gill, who is a intuitive medium and astrologer, will be joining us, so that will be super exciting. I know, right?
Yeah,
Paula,
she's a lot of fun.
Yeah, she brings so much energy to the table, and she fits right in with the four of us. So that is going to be a fun evening. So ladies, here we are. It's the first day back at work for Nancy and Lizina. Jody, did you work today?
No, I don't go back to my muggle job till Thursday. These are my regular, because I work so many weekends, these are my regular days off.
Nice. Okay, fair enough. How is it going back to work, lady, in the snow? Hey, did you guys have snow? I know that Burnaby, I've been shoveling. I've been shoveling snow. Oh my God, tongue twister. Like nonstop since what, Christmas Eve? Who needs the gym when you just have to go outside and shovel snow?
Right. Well, and I went to Victoria. I was on the island and they never have snow, and it stayed like the kids. We went tobogganing and stuff. There was lots of snow even in Victoria, which never gets snow.
Crazy. What's it like in Lillooet, Linda? You can unmute.
We have lots of snow, and yeah, way more than what we usually do.
I was just going to say to you, because I normally travel up there in December and January, and the last 2 years, there's been hardly any snow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you, the weather witch is not happy with us.
We need Jody to do some spells.
Yeah. I don't mess with weather. The implications.
No one wants to bear that burden.
Well, and like I've had witches say to me, like, we've sat and talked, me and a couple of my girlfriends, and we're like, ever wonder why we have these heat waves? Like maybe people are messing with weather that shouldn't be, because the pressure's got to come out somewhere, right? Same as when you kind of like smooch time a little bit. You know, then you think it's 2 o'clock and it's 1 o'clock and you lose an hour, right? So everything evens out. So sometimes I lovingly suggest that it would be great to be blessed with certain weather, like on my daughter's wedding day, right? But I didn't throw anything up. Just like, if you would bless us, I would appreciate it. But you know, so mote it be your way, not my way.
Well, you know, sometimes the intention set is just enough.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to whip any of our little cauldron baking spells at anyone. You just need to set that intention. So, yeah. Anyone else get snow, though? Snow in... Did you get snow, Lizina? Aileen, you got snow? Lucy, you live a block and a half away from me, not even. So if you didn't get snow, there's something wrong. Although I will say, we live a little bit higher up in Burnaby, a little bit higher up on a mountain there, that I can literally go to my girlfriend's house, which is 4.5 blocks away, down Canada Way, and she doesn't have even close to what I have for snow.
No. Yeah.
That makes me so angry. By the time I get to her back door, I'm like, oh, no snow. I had to wear my boots up to my knees and then go to her house, and it's just easy.
We barely had any here, and I usually get it all the time in Surrey.
Oh yeah.
That's insane. Yeah. That's insane. Everyone have a good Christmas. Good Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We're like what, 3 days into it, 4 days into it?
It's still Happy New Year. Still
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
We're still
I
in a
love
Happy New Year.
seeing Lucy's tree behind her. It's
Yeah.
so pretty. Oh, and I can see
My tree is still up too. I have to take it down.
So I told Lazina, that I woke up on Thursday morning before New Year's even, and I had I had to take everything down. I could not continue to go downstairs and do any work because every time I looked at the tree or the lights or anything, I felt like I should still be on holidays. And it was messing with my work, and I have so much to do with the newsletter that Nancy's done for me. Oh my God, it was ridiculous. So I got up, I shoveled snow. Yes, I did. And then I proceeded to tear down my Christmas decorations so fast that my husband literally was like, what's going on? I'm like, no, can't work. Can't work. Christmas decorations must go down. So they went down and I felt a ton better. Oddly enough, and I love Christmas. Everyone knows how much I love Christmas. Yes.
Yeah.
But as soon as those Christmas decorations came down, I felt like I could go to work.
Mm.
I seen a neighbor taking down their lights and it made me so sad. I love the lights. Like I think they're just kind of like December lights. Like it's so dark this time of year. I love when everyone has their lights out and I don't want people's house lights to go away. Please leave them up, people.
We don't take ours down.
I haven't turned mine off. I've had them on the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with the energy that we're having, we need the light.
Yes.
So
definitely.
I have nice blue icicle lights, and then I made a golden pyramid on my balcony. It's very cool.
Of course you did.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, especially with the snow, they are very beautiful.
Yeah.
And the snow was nice. Was.
I romanticize it, because I don't live in Alberta anymore, that I'm like, oh, I get so romantic about it. I'm like, oh, winter, oh, how I miss you. But I don't really miss -20. I just miss looking at the snow.
Right.
Yes.
So I've looked at it long enough.
Yeah.
My Mexican doggo, Honey, she loves the snow so much. She does not walk on the sidewalks. She will walk solely in the snow. So, and her nose down, she's just like right through it. So it's super cute. But my lights are all the colors and they stay up all year round. I mean, I can't always have them on all year round, but once it's dark enough, we leave them on. We never unplug our lights.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Anyway, so that's it. So I'm hoping that the audience here, our lovely friends, have had a great holiday season. They celebrated the way they needed to. They maybe got what they needed. It's always nice to receive something, a little something. Maybe it was just a hug. Maybe it was a Christmas cake. Ooh, I can't believe I just said that, a Christmas cake. Whoa. But maybe you did and you loved it, and that's all good, right? So let's ladies, want to talk?
Yeah.
Maybe if you received a candy cane smoothie, that also made you happy.
Yes.
Diana.
That was Tara's favorite, wasn't it?
Yes,
that is my jam, ladies and gentlemen, is candy cane smoothies from Body Energy. But we are here, and the conversation is now turning to, let's talk a little bit about the topic being trusting or receiving or accepting. I mean, there's so many words we can use. Spiritual assistance. What does that mean? What is spiritual assistance? When I throw that out there, what do you ladies think?
I have an example. Oh no, you go, Lizina. I've been
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Example. So I've been collecting new decks. Nancy knows this. So lately, what it's been for me, and I know I can read, but I've really been experimenting with just opening the box, not even fluffing through the deck, just shuffling it and reading. And I did one recently because most of us are in the Spirit Essence group. So I just did one recently with a brand new deck that I'd never done before. And I put it out into the world for 2022, like a reading, and I'd never even used the deck before. And most of the decks I get are contemporary decks. So they're not like, they're a tarot deck. Like they have the same, like but it's not always called chalices or cups, or
Mhm.
sometimes it's a bit different, or they rename things. So it was really interesting because just recently I had that kind of floundering feeling where I'm like, well, this is what I'm getting. And I think it's this card, and I haven't felt like that for a long time with tarot cards. Just because,
Interesting.
it's like if you just got an oracle deck and you just like blindly just grab it off the shelf, never open it, never look at it, don't know the theme, and just read with it.
Yeah.
It was super fun.
You know, that kind of read though, that no expectation, no knowing anything about it, is the best read there is though.
Oh, it's great, right? Like it totally took me out of my my thinky brain, because I know
Yeah.
all the symbology and stuff, but took me right out of my thinky brain and right into that hearty heart feeling. And I like being there.
That's a good feel.
Mhm.
Hearty heart. I like that.
Jay likes hearty heart. It's good.
So spiritual assistance, that is the kind of feel of what people come to us for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When they come, they book readings, they book healings, they book these different types of services, sessions with us. They are looking for something.
Mhm.
And it's not coming from us, right?
No.
Ladies, we all agree on that it's not
Yep.
coming from us.
No.
So essentially, they are trusting us to trust our guides and helpers, however we work.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so.
Agreed.
So that's putting a lot of energy and faith in us. Spiritual assistance. What do you need? Why are you coming to us? Now, yes, we all have different modalities we work with. Mediumship is a connection to the other side. It's a connection to loved ones and guides and helpers. And then tarot has such a robust format to it. Same with oracle cards, right? Different techniques, but same kind of outcomes. Multidimensional channeling, healing, all those things are so different. So I wonder what it is that draws someone to a particular practitioner, a particular modality. Thoughts?
I think there's a
Lizina.
lot of
Oh, Lovey.
I didn't want to interrupt. Okay. I believe it's the person's energy, the person who is looking for, this has always been my experience, that the person who is has that desire, who has had that inclination that, oh, I would like to do this, or who's just gone through maybe a big clearing of, like, physically, of a home, or a change in a relationship, or it could be anything, but that physical movement will stimulate change on the inside, and vice versa. The inner movement will also will allow for the physical movement. So I feel like as soon as someone decides they even think about it, that they are connecting with the person who is going to be the guidance that they need, or the translator.
Right. Because we're just vessels, right?
Yeah.
You
I
ever
hate saying.
feel?
Hmm?
Do you ever feel like when, like on our side of the table, sometimes I can feel, I don't know if it's like an auric pull or if it's a energy vibey thing, but sometimes you can just feel it. Like you're at your table at a psychic fair and you're like, oh, I'm getting a client. Like it's almost like you can feel their energy almost like come out and fluff with your, I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't know.
No, I understand.
Nancy, do you understand it? I saw your little hand go up.
Yeah, no, I was just going to add to that, because I really, like, before I go into doing a group of readings, I'll often ask my guides to interject and say, can you bring me whoever needs me as the telephone? I call myself the telephone for the day, or whoever is, our energy is going to connect for each other's highest good, right? So I tend to try to involve my team and their team as well. So as humans, as we're connecting here, we've got our teams on both sides going, let's align these two humans and deliver some messages.
A lot of my work is done by referral. So a lot of my work comes from people getting a session with me and then moving along to a friend and saying, hey, by the way, this. And so I don't always have the option of, seeing the person beforehand, getting, coming into contact with them. I don't read typically at fairs or anything anymore unless it's a fundraiser or something. But one of the cool things that I find is when you can show someone something that takes the skeptic out of them.
Oh yeah.
So if we have clients that are coming to us, and I want you guys to chime in a little bit, but if we have some clients that are coming to us and they're skeptical. I mean, I have this one out of every, I'd say 3 readings of someone that I haven't read for before is a skeptic. They're looking for some kind of aha moment that I'm going to dazzle them and whatnot. And sometimes those moments are pretty powerful, and sometimes they're not what they're looking for, and that's okay too. But when you can give them that little bit of something, like today I did one where she's like, well, can you tell me something about my daughter's kids? Can you tell me something my mom would tell me about my daughter? So this would be her grandkids, her mother's great grandkids. And I was like, she's not really showing me anything. She's showing me 2 kids and they're holding hands. Are they twins? Well, and she loved it, right? They were twins and she loved that. But I didn't feel that was anything over the top special, right? I was like, oh gosh, here we go. I'm trying to figure, come on, give me something. But that's what she was looking for. She wanted her mother to acknowledge that her daughter had twins. And you know what? Once it acknowledged, I didn't even get into it. I was like, okay, and then I just carried on. I don't know if there was something more I was supposed to do there, but no one gave me anything. So I just carried it on. But the skeptical aspect of the work we do, the people who come in, healing has a big skeptic philosophy. What do you mean you're going to heal me? Lizina, do you want to talk a little bit about what healing is?
For me and the clients that I work with, like I said before, once you've decided that maybe you need a clearing or you're feeling that energy, it's been my experience that you start releasing into your auric field what you're ready to let go of. It just like whatever you're ready to surrender. And so when people come, it's in their auric field, and I can feel them and I can read that. And I've had people come to me that like, and then try to test you. Right. And I said, I'm working with the present right now with what your body is doing. And I'm translating messages from your body, from your energy, from spirit, all around. And I'm not going to be jumping through any hoops, right? I'm not a gymnast. And so that's what I find. But it's usually in their auric field already, like the stuff that they're ready to let go of. Like it's ready to go.
So do you have to, you're not convincing them, you don't feel you have to prove anything, it's more along the lines of
because I set that intention that the people that come to me are ready to do the work. I don't feel like I need to prove anything. And so that's the intention. And those are the people that usually come. Occasionally I will get somebody, right, that has never had this experience, but there it is. When I go to do the clearing, there's the stuff. I'm like, you've done the work. You don't even realize it, that you are so integral in this, that you're coming to me, but I am just raising a frequency which you are meeting. And because you're meeting that higher frequency, you're able to let go of the density. That's kind of like the weather BC has had all year, right? Like last year, we've gone through a lot of clearing with nature, with all of the elements. So it's kind of like that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And here's a very, very cool thing, is that the skeptics have a choice. So when they come in, and if they're coming in with expectation and judgment, and if you can work through that, then they have a choice whether they receive you in your authentic way or whether they see you in the way they need to see you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can do the work both ways. Nancy, do you have a story? Anyone come into your space that made you feel like, I have to prove something here?
Yeah, I kind of feel a little bit like that with every reading. Like I like to challenge myself each time. And I think you kind of set it up best when you're explaining it. It's very much an evidential thing we do, right? People come in and they're like, okay, if she just says the name of my father, then I'll believe that this is going to happen. I'll believe this is true. I'll believe it. And you're going, oh my gosh, like I am not strong with names. That's not my thing. It's not my
Me
strong
either.
sort of audible Claire, right? And so I've learned to just lean in and trust what I'm getting and deliver whatever it is, as odd as it seems. And I had a lady come once and very skeptical. It was a reading bought for her while she was grieving for a friend.
Mm.
She sat down, you could just feel the energy off her, like, I don't want to be here. This is weird. I don't like this. And I just said, okay, it was her father who came through. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. And then I was like, I don't know why I'm saying this, but he's showing me a green leaf. And so, you go, oh, that's nothing spectacular. Well, she burst into tears. Her friend burst into tears. And I thought, I've never thought the word green leaf could ever upset or touch someone so deeply. Well, it was the last painting he had bought for her. She was coveting this picture of this glorious green leaf, and it symbolized life as he was transitioning. And so when I just delivered it, and it was like, oh, wow. And I turned her that exact second from skeptic to believer.
And isn't that the true blessing, is when
Yeah.
we can take ourselves out of the reading and just give it without interpreting, without trying to make it suit our philosophies or our mind, when we can just simply give the message. And it always comes down to the Huey, Dewey, and Louie story, right? I got 3 ducks in the pond and a woman sitting here staring at me, and I'm like, in my left side of my brain, I'm going, this is ridiculous. What am I going to say to her? But you say it and you thank yourself and you thank spirit afterwards, because do you have 3 ducks? Can you see 3 ducks in a pond? And their names are Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And they can take it. I mean, one, you want to jump up and scream and say, yes, spirit, I trusted you and you delivered.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what's the saying, right? Spirit never lets us down.
It doesn't. No.
That's a hard lesson to learn, though, as a reader, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's the first one. It's the first one you got to trust, right?
Yeah. If you
And
don't
deliver
trust
to
what you're
people.
doing, it is just so hard. And everyone is a psychic and a medium. All of you have heard me say this a 1,000 times, but everyone is a psychic and medium. So if we are all capable of doing this work, what's the difference between the 4 of us and the clients that come and sit in front of us? Thoughts?
Not a lot.
No.
Well, I mean, on a very, very human sense, not a lot. We can all connect. We can all connect with our highest self. We can connect with our guides. We all get it in different ways, and they're all valid. I practice it a lot. I think I've said this before. I think a lot about music, right? So like the 4 of us, we've chosen to do this as an offering.
Yes.
We've
Good
chosen
point.
this as our calling. We've answered it. We've said, yes, we have these gifts and I'm going to use them for other people. I could choose just to meditate for myself. I'm not satisfied with that. I choose to be of service. So there's that. But I often think like you look at Mozart, right? He just came here that way. You can put me in front of a piano, I'll learn piano. If I invest enough time in learning piano, I'll learn piano. My kids are just letting my dog in the room. She's going crazy because we're all talking. I know what you mean. Sorry, guys. My dog's so needy. Anyway, so if you sit anyone at a piano, they will learn piano eventually. Are they going to be Mozart? Probably not, right? So everyone has this. We come here with it. Some of us have a knack and we can teach ourselves. But I mean, I can't hit a baseball, right? So there's lots of things I am absolute garbage at. I just happen to be really good at this, right?
And here's the other thing, is that ultimately we're vessels. So when Lucy comes to me for a reading and sits down in front of me, I am Tara. I am Tara, who loves her dogs more than almost anything. I am Tara, who, you know, is going to get her next tattoo in a couple of days. I'm Tara, who gets her feelings hurt by anyone and everyone all the time. And, you know, I'm still that Tara. But as soon as that person, as soon as Lucy looks at me and says, I'm here, it is like a download. And I don't know if anyone saw this in the group. There was I did a reading, a message of some sort in the group, and I was talking, this woman posts and says, I absolutely love all the information you give, but I can never understand it because you talk so fast. And I at first I was like, well, that sucks. And then I started laughing and I was like, so I wrote back and I said, well, that's my authentic self, sister. That doesn't change. This is how it comes. And wait till I start downloading.
Then it's faster.
That's
Yeah.
right. But that is the truth. I am a vessel. And once spirit and I connect, and the connection is solid, it is easy for the information to come in for me. If every one of us is a psychic and a medium, why isn't everyone doing it? Why aren't they trusting what they get from their guides, their helpers, their people? Nancy?
I think it's not necessarily meant for everyone to do, nor do they have to do it. But when I teach development, for example, I say, why not tap into it for your own use? Tap into that internal GPS to make life easier. You don't even
Yes.
have to do what the four of us are doing. We choose to be of service. But on the flip side, we also need people like us, right? Like, and so it's very much like a figure eight. It ebbs and it flows, and so there's often the give and the exchange of energy. And so, you know, you don't have to do what we do, but you can tap into it. And this thing is, sometimes we don't do what we do, we need someone else to tap into it. So it's always ebbs and flows and balances and checks, and that's just sort of my thing.
Yeah, and you know, there is honestly so much to it. There's so much. So, you know, think of the onion and the layers, right? Generational trauma, past life work, you know, in the here and now, religion, all these things that just get piled up that we have to work through to even get to that point to be able to say, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I did, ladies, I did a workshop. This was years ago. This is back when Tina had her shop, Tina Under the Moon. And I did a mediumship workshop. And actually, Jody, I think you were there. And everyone was, you know, talking about how we do it all differently. And Jody, we talked about the chip coffee way. That's another story for another time.
Yes.
But and one of the things that was brought up was, I asked everyone, have you ever felt like maybe you were bipolar? How many in the room, I said, have
I
ever
remember
felt like,
that class.
yep.
I was
And
there because I
there
was, yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there was 8 women there besides myself, and every one of them put up their hand. Every one of them had questioned.
I remember, it was funny because I remember that class because I had conversations with a very good friend of mine because I always questioned. And my friend turned to me one day and said, you've been to therapy so many times, like you'd think they would have told you if you were schizophrenic, this is real. And I was like, oh yeah. And then I remembered when you brought that up in class, and to see everyone feeling the same way I had felt, I was just like, it was like, is mind blowing. My brain just like, because I thought I was the only one who felt weird doing it. Because looking at everyone,
Right.
when you're in those development circles and you're watching everyone else around you, you know, I don't know, I'm pretty insecure sometimes. So I would be like, oh my God, like they do this so well. And oh my goodness. And they look so natural doing it. And in that class, I realized, no, we're all freaking out.
Because
So
what do you associate with voices in your head?
yes.
Right? What do you associate with visions?
Yeah. Well, other than like psychotropic drugs that, you know.
I wasn't going there with that, but
Well,
yes,
I just watched
true.
that Prime Video one with Nicole Kidman. I just finished that one when she's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
Lizina would know.
squirrel.
The others? Is
But
that
that,
the one that-
yeah, it was. You think you're kind of a little nutso.
Yeah.
And And that brings us to why people come to us for spiritual assistance, because again, they put their faith in us to provide them with the answers.
Mhm.
What most of us do, at least the people that work in my realm, that are my tribe, is we try to teach the individuals to tap in, like you said, Nancy, themselves, but to feel it themselves. So we'll give you tools. We'll do the reading for sure, because the reading is important. You need to hear these things right now. You need to be kind of grounded and present and receive, whether it's healing or a reading by cards or pendulum reading. I mean, the tools are relentless. We could just continue and continue with the tools. Sorry?
No, go ahead. You finish. I have something.
And I was just going to say that what we're giving back to the individuals that come to us is really genuine. There's lots of people who don't do genuine work. Don't let me tell you. But when you find the right reader, it's why clients stay for years and years and years, right? They may dabble in someone else, but if you're a good authentic reader, they'll always come back to you because you have the ability to give them what they need. You don't have it for everyone, but you certainly have it for those that drive with your vibe. What were you going to say, Jody?
Oh, well, when you were talking, I was thinking, and I can't remember which one of my beautiful soul sisters touched on this, but that we also go for readings, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I was just looking at all of our people, and I was thinking of, when Tara was talking, and a lot of you, how many of you, when you come to see us, because I know when I go to see one of my friends, like if I go to Tara or Lazina or Nancy for a reading, like I know that I could do the work, but I'm usually pretty emotional, or I'm too clouded to look unbiasedly at something. So I was just wondering, how many of you, once you get your reading, do you feel like something has been validated for you? Right? That you were maybe knowing what you were looking for, but you get that validation, maybe the signs that you've been seeing, you get that echoed back to you through your reader, so that you get that affirmation and your trust can be built even.
Yes.
It's a reflection.
Confirmation,
It's a reflection.
affirmation.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
That
all my
is
little
true.
goose tingles.
Yeah.
Thank you for whoever gave me that awesome wisdom.
This year I'm in my under the tarot, I'm in my high priestess year, and one of the things that is about I do spend a lot of time in my own with myself, with spirit, but there's a big component of seeing my reflection, seeing what the work that I'm doing in others, in my clients, in people, in interactions. There's been in my muggle job, there's been a huge shuffle, and a lot of toxic people are leaving. And I came in and I thought, oh, okay, all right. I've just been like, love and light and distance, love and light and distance. It's just,
But that's a really good point, Lazina. When toxicity is around you, instead of doing that whole karmanic, it's going to come back and get them. Oh, they'll get what they deserve. You just say love and light. Send them positive. Don't go back the way that, don't go backwards with it. Go forwards with it.
Lovely. I like that, Tara. So wise.
the more you pay attention to that or feed into it, it's not going to change, right? Like you're going to stay in that energy, like, because you're noticing it. And
we always validate our emotions, right? We're always validating our
yes.
human emotions, because if you have that moment, you're like, what the bleepity bleepity bleep, and then you're like, okay, I got to be angry for that split second, but now I'm just going to say love and light to you, brother. Carry on. Sorry, I went for a male. Love and light, brother, sister, dog, whichever is out there.
Well, it's that choice, right? Like we choose what to do with our emotional reaction. Right. Like we have our reaction, and then we can either, like, what is that thing about the two wolves on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Which one are you
can either feed the beautiful, luxurious, yummy wolf, or you can feed the snarly, angry, crabby wolf. And at the end of the day, it's the wolf you feed that has more power over you, right?
Yeah.
I think I got it sort of right. You guys know them.
I understand.
Thank you.
Does anyone in the group here, besides the four of us, have any kind of definition of what they go into a session with someone with, what they're hoping to get out of it, what their maybe, I don't want to say expectation because none of us like expectations, but what they're hoping to achieve by getting a reading with someone. Does anyone want to give us a thought on that? No, you guys just all go blindly into your readings, just like, yeah.
There's
Lucy, go ahead, Lucy. Linda's
you're
laughing like
beautiful.
crazy.
There you
I
go.
remember when I was introduced to Tara, and it was a beautiful experience. And I agree with her that when she came into the reading, I had a lot of self-doubt. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this? And she said to me, stop doubting yourself. You are, I am, it is.
Mm.
Nice.
She confirmed it, and it was like an epiphany. And yeah, never again do I doubt. I am true, confident, confirming everything I've done is good. Thank you for your guidance.
Mwah, thank you for
Lovely.
that.
Lovely.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, because spiritual guidance is to help you move forward. In my world, it is a contract between the spirits and I to help you.
Mm.
I want you to thrive. Spirit wants you to thrive. If you thrive, spirit has less work to do. So we want to see you excel. And we, just being spirit and I and the team that I have, my contract with spirit is to see the beauty in all of you, and whatever that is. Maybe that is me bringing a loved one through that you need closure with. Maybe that is doing a chakra balancing so that you can feel centered and balanced to do your job the next day, whatever it is. But it is an honor for us, and I can't speak for them, but for the ladies with me, but it is an honor for me to be able to help anyone, to be able to give the guidance that will show them a different space. And I don't take that lightly. I don't take that lightly.
Very
Nancy?
serious, very serious contract. Very, very serious. And it is an honor, and it is a place that I hold with sacred reverence as well. I don't, yeah, I have to agree with you 100% on that. Like, it's something that's very, very sacred. And each person is such a delicate little light. You want to make sure that you're charging it up and revving it up and delivering good messages, right?
I love that.
That's beautiful.
Does everyone know if anyone says no, I'll be so surprised, but everyone knows the Long Island medium, yes? Teresa, and that she goes around and she'll read for anyone, anywhere, anytime with the cameras rolling. So I don't know what she does in her downtime, but she'll go into a laundry mat and be like, hey, to this little man sitting there, your dad is on the other side, right? And she'll give messages.
Such great TV.
Right?
Yeah.
All entertainment. And I'm sure she's very, very good at what she does, but this is an entertainment kind of thing. But do you ever think that if you were to just go, and I've had clients come to me and say, this lady was walking down the street and came up to me and told me this message. And I don't know about anyone else. Again, when I speak, I'm speaking for myself, but I think that I would be disinclined to do anything like that unless the message I got was so, I knew with every ounce of my being that message needed to be said. Now, I will tell all of you that I have had an experience with probably every single one of you that is in this room tonight where I have had a message, but it wasn't my place to give it. So does that mean that you've missed out on something?
No.
Exactly. No, it just means that you will get it in a different way, in a different manner. We are the vessels, but we are not on 24/7. And I think that's really hard for a lot of people to imagine. Now, not you guys. I mean, I know each and every one of you that's in this group. So, but a lot of people, will be like, when they find out I'm a medium, I used to tell everyone I was a counselor at lacrosse and at dance. I'm a counselor. I'm a counselor. What kind of counselor? Spiritual, right? They're like, oh, you go to church? And I'm like, oh, sweet goddess, I've opened a huge can of worms. But I did that because once they find out you're a medium, the questions just are all over the place. And
Yes.
the exchange isn't there.
No.
When we talking about exchange, right? We talk about the information exchange. There's a lot of people who will say, well, why would you accept, finances for this? Why do you?
Oh, I
And
have an answer for them.
please.
Yes.
Because back in the day, the spiritual leaders and the spiritual healers, that was their job within the village, and they didn't do blacksmithing. So the blacksmith provided their shoes, like there was a reciprocation. There always
Yes.
has been a reciprocation. In the Norse, when there were saiths and seers, they would travel from village to
Yes.
village. And when they came to the village, there was a huge feast put on for them, and they were housed and they were fed.
Yeah.
Like we have always received, as wise women and wise fellows.
Yep.
We have always received back support for our gifts. It wasn't always an e-transfer, but it was a
That's right.
blanket. It was shelter. It was a meal, right? And it's even like, if you even look at our churches, like you tithe for our churches, it's the church who supports the reverends, like the spiritual leaders in our cultures and in our communities all over earth are supported for their work and receive for their work. And we are the same.
Yeah.
That's my answer to that all the time. Like, and I have certain things, like I personally, like if you're like, I used to read for my daughter's friends for free, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like,
I
I'm
mean,
never
all
gonna,
of us give.
and I, like, and I have a sliding scale for people who need it,
Yes,
like I'm not.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I've
to go-
accepted canned fish. I've accepted
Oh, the best,
thing.
the best. I
Linda's
got
laughing
2
again.
Oh my God, 2 homemade pies, and they were like, the crust was woven. Oh my God, the love. I barely wanted to share it with my family. I wanted to eat the whole thing. I didn't, I did share. But yeah, it's all about reciprocation.
Do you know what once was said to me by a very, very wise woman? She said, if you give what you have for free, they'll stop hearing you because they'll be able to come back over and over and over again. So they'll never learn what you're giving. They'll never really allow it to sink into you, to them, because they will think that you will be there for their taking all the time. And I thought to myself, so take a can of fish. Let me tell you, it's well worth it.
Well, and it's I value.
That's right,
I value your ladies' gifts.
Yeah.
Right. I value your gifts, and I value your time, and even my clients' time. I value the time they take to sit with me at our table. Right.
For sure.
Now it's in our Zoom boxes, but whatever.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get back to tables sooner than later. Well, I think we've kind of exhausted this topic here. Spiritual assistance is, in my view, the ability to have a different perspective given to you. What you choose to do with that perspective is your personal responsibility. No one is a fortune teller. No one sees your future because you have free will choice. You get to make the choices in your life. And even when you feel like fate and destiny has been placed in front of you and this is the way it has to be, you still have options.
Always.
And that is the true gift of what the work is that we do, is that we can help you see different avenues. What you choose to do with it is yours, but we can do that. Any final words on this, ladies, before we go into a few messages for these lovely people that have listened to us so lovingly and gracefully? Lizina?
I'm really grateful for spiritual guidance. I really am. And then spiritual guidance is not always coming from someone. It's coming from spirit itself. Trusting that connection as well. Before I even got into all of this work, when I was still just, my curiosity was being risen. I remember seeing ascended masters, and I'm like, what am I seeing? you know, like, and just trusting, and that trust has brought me so far. It's like, yeah, having I still have that, the excitement of a child sometimes when, you know, spirit tells me something or something happens. Oh man, it's so cool, we get to do this. You know what I mean? Like, Mars heard me say it so many times. We get to do this. This is awesome. Like, wow. Right.
So
Yeah,
our
so I'm just,
gratitude is huge.
yes. Yeah.
Nancy, any final words on the subject?
Um, I'm just grateful for being open and trusting the process, both in receiving and when I'm giving to people. Um, and that I think, you know, not only do we as a group offer spiritual guidance, but we get it and we receive it as well. So I'm grateful for the I guess cosmic balance that just keeps flowing.
Well, what did they say? Give a healing, get a healing.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And spiritual readings, guidance, mediumship, tarot is really giving you a healing in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
It's all healing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
As far as
healing.
I'm concerned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jody, do you want to close it off?
Well, I'm going to close it off, but I'm going to say it's something less profound, but I just on that give a healing, get a healing. Just for
Yeah.
everyone to giggle. I have one client and she swears that because we're in the energy all the time, that's why we have great skin and we don't seem to age as much as it, because we're always like channeling that divine light and we're always vibrating at that level. She's like, it's better than skin cream. I swear to God, you never age.
We have the fountain of youth.
Yes, it's
Yes,
better than
yes.
bathing in the blood
Everyone
of
always
virgins.
says you never look like you're 50.
Yeah.
Why?
50.
Pam has brought something to us. Having
Yes.
this group is helpful because when we as learnings get a message and we can tell that's Tara reading this, we can tell someone that gets it. It helps us to learn to trust them. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
What she's saying is if we can trust you,
Yeah.
then we can receive it. And I
And
love
you know
that.
what else loves? Some of my favorite readings is when I'm doing a development circle and I have a new little baby medium read for me, because your stuff is so authentic. Because you're just like, bleh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. Like, it's so great. I love it. They're some of my favorite readings.
They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I never get readings in my circle.
Oh,
Ever, never do I get. Very rarely. I shouldn't say ever, never, but very rarely.
yeah.
And there are people in this world that just refuse to read for me. If they
So
just
sad.
were like, nope, can't do it. You can ask me something, but I can't read for you. And I'll be like, why? Because they think I have an expectation because I do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to add one more thing to this before we go into the reading portion. So we can just do a quick one reading each, ladies.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just want to say one more thing. And this is to the group and to anyone watching in YouTube world or on Facebook or wherever. If you don't resonate with the message, don't ever let it go. Put it on the shelf. Because if you are with the right reader and that reader is authentic, Spirit won't have let that reader down. And it may not resonate with you in the moment, but I will guarantee you that it will come and present itself to you, and you'll be like, oh my God, that person with the nose ring and the funny little bubbles in her hair and whatnot, she gave me a damn good message, and now I know what she's talking about. It'll come back and you'll understand it. Never ever dismiss what you've gotten, as long as it's a reader that you feel that connection with, that pull. Okay, ladies, who's got some messages? We always at the end of our show, give such great thanks to all of you guys for hanging out with us for this long. And we always do one reading each, who we are drawn to, who needs us in the moment. And ladies, anyone feel a calling?
I'm feeling a calling for Naomi Peters. May I come to you?
Hey, Naomi.
Hi. Would you like to unmute, please?
Yes, please.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. As I've been tuning in here, your energetic feels feel a little depleted to me. I feel like you've been feeling a bit run down. I feel like your energy is being kind of sucked out of you. Does that make sense? I feel, yeah, I feel like it's you've been pulled in a lot of directions, and it's time, Spirit is saying, for you to pull back your energy, to call it back. It's because you're out of balance right now. But it won't take much for you to come back into balance. Just setting that intention of just calling all of your energy back and sending all of the other energy back to where it came from in love and consciousness. People that have been in my classes before understand what I'm talking about. But it's a rebalancing and it's a resetting for you to come back and center yourself.
Yeah, I've been feeling off for quite a while.
Yeah, like how
Yeah.
long? How long have you been feeling off?
I'd say probably a month.
A month? Yeah. It was a rough energy month, I have to say, very turbulent coming in. And then the solstice, it started kind of calming down a little bit, and it was blipping a little bit. And then we had that time between Christmas and New Year's. We didn't know what day it was, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about that. Yeah. So guidance for you is to call back your energy and recenter and go into your breath and breathe into your belly.
Okay.
And that will ground you a little bit more. May I leave that with you?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
I'm ready. I can go.
Let's go, Jody.
Hey, Mo, I'd like to come to you, please, love.
Only wide-eyed.
So I pulled a card for you. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm doing that new deck again. It's gorgeous. It's the element of air.
Ooh.
And just looking at that, what I want to say to you is, coming forward into the new year, there is going to be a new burst of creativeness for you. Okay, I'm not sure what area of your life it's in. I feel like there's creativity, but I don't feel like it's exactly in your work. Okay, I feel it's more in your personal life, more creativity. And I feel like there is some kind of a wall you are going to smash through in your mind. If you understand, please, you are going to really break through some old idea or some old thought pattern or some old belief or something that you've been carrying for much too long, love. I feel like Spirit has been bringing it up kind of gently. And I feel like just recently, I would say in the past 2 weeks, it wasn't very gentle. You have been smashing against this message, this idea that you have so outgrown, and you do not need to carry that anymore. Okay, so I really feel before March, you are not only going to break through that, you are going to have a burst of creativity in the way you're really processing that element of air, which is our mind and our logic. You have a big growth coming, because when I tap into your energy, it's like I am so much faster than I've been all day. I've been super lazy all day. Big work coming for you, my friend. Can I leave that with you?
Yes, thank you so much.
Does that make
Mo,
sense,
can
my
she
dear?
leave that with you?
Yes.
Oh, by the look of Tara, that made sense.
I'd best be seeing you at the next development circle. Okay. Hey, Boo, did you want to go?
My turn.
Birdie lady? Does everyone see the little bird behind? There we go. What's Birdie's name?
Her name's Jazz.
Ah, hello.
She's 28 years old.
Shut the door.
She looks
Yeah.
good.
She's channeling spirit.
She looks good.
Good.
She's got the fountain of youth with us.
There you go.
So, I know we're only supposed to do one, but I want to do two really quick, because I know, Mo, you already got given a message, but I was kind of staring at you before I was drawn to Linda. So, but I'm going to go to Linda in 1 second. Mo, I was looking at you through the whole evening tonight, and wolf energy kept coming up. Wolf energy, wolf energy. I was like, pack, family, protection. So then I'm like, oh, just look it up really quick, because you're going to go to Linda. That's who you're going to. Wolf, though not apparent yet, change is coming, occurring. Trust in yourself, your path. Take control. Protection surrounds you in journeys. Can't make that up. That was for you. And a card, okay, rattlesnake, because I'm like, no. This always comes up for you. I'm not going to deliver this, because we always deliver this to Mo. The experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. Okay.
Sweet goddess. I don't know how many times we have to do this.
We love you, Mo. But I'm like, okay, I always say that to him. There's always like this divine energy. And then Jody did it. And then I was like, but I have to. So thank you. Spirit's telling me.
You
Well,
go,
because
girl.
he has to hear it this many times because he's obviously tuned me out and now he's focusing.
But it's that I'm gonna pick on you, Lev. I'm gonna keep going. But it's that belief that you have outgrown it. There's something rattling around between your ears, baby, and you have so outgrown that idea. And in so many ways of your life, you've outgrown it. And this is just the next bridge.
We're not trying to nag you. It's just that
Yes,
Spirit's
we
nagging
are.
I'm not trying to nag you. I'm trying to
Nagging is
say it's
good.
okay. It's okay to let go of that belief. You've carried it far too long. It's heavy.
Mo,
Yes.
Mo, you need to,
Yes.
I'm going to say you need to listen to the ancestors in the light, not the ones that aren't there right now, because they still have to do their work. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the ones in the light that are going to lift you. Okay. That are going to, you're going to level up like my
And
pyramid.
I'm gonna interrupt the last time, just a little piece of loving mentorship for everyone. When we're calling in our ancestors, it's a great idea to call our whole and healthy ancestors in,
Yes.
because not all of mine are whole and healthy. They love me to pieces.
Yeah.
And they'll help me. But I
Bam.
want my whole and healed ancestors to pave my way because it's a bit smoother then.
Yeah.
Now I'm done. I'm gonna be quiet.
Nancy, before you go, I'm just going to say this because this is relevant to everyone before you give the reading. Aileen said, I have always loved that during our workshops, talks, messages, even though they aren't directed at us, particular people specifically, some part of it is meant for us to hear, learn, and cherish. And that's the truth. There's always something in groups like this.
Yeah.
There's always something for everyone and everyone's message. And that's why it's always disappointing to see people just be like, got my message, gotta go. Because there's so much more for them. They just don't recognize it. Now, Nancy, you have been interrupted at least 5 times. Please carry on.
Yeah, so sorry to piggyback on you, Jody Ann. I just had like stuff predetermined here from Spirit.
I think we all needed that little tyrant.
Yes.
I'm going to leave that with you, Mo. Linda, can I come to you, hon? Oh, she's unmuting.
Yes.
She's unmuting. When Spirit comes in, for those of you who have had a reading with me, everything on my body, every hair stands up, and I am surrounded by people right now who love you immensely. The vibration is so intense. My stomach is doing this right now. And they're saying, clear the past, clear the past, clear the past. Because you know what? You have abundant gifts from the universe that are being given to you right now, and you need to cherish. They want you to stay in your own skin. And I think that's why I'm feeling all of this vibration, because you're thinking here and you're thinking here and you're thinking here. And you know what? You have the most glorious open heart. You are the most loving, kindest person. If you just need to embrace that. Like, you're the kind of person, I bet you if I said to you, Linda, can I have your shirt? I kind of need it. And you'd be like, yeah, okay, it's my last one, but here you go. You know, so I'm not asking that of you. I'm saying keep that loving unconditionalness that you have. But don't worry about the past. Don't worry about anything else. Think about the glorious glowing light that you have right now. That's you and everything around you. Be gracious and grateful for it. And remember your own empowerment. Remember your own power and the goddess that you are. This is a bit of a tough time for us all right now. It's a bit gray. It's a bit meh. But think of Jody Ann's lights on the snow. Think of everybody sort of gloriously lifting you up, and we're all lifting each other up in these events like this and supporting each other. And you've got this. You've absolutely got this. Can I leave that with you, honey?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I just wanted to say I've been all over the place and trying to figure this one out. And I think I got it today with my ribbon skirt and with that you offered. Thank you.
Mwah.
Hey, Linda, Violet says hello. She says she hasn't been around as much as she should have been. Who's Violet?
That's my sister that passed. She just passed.
Okay. Yeah, she says, hello, lovey. Okay.
Thank you, Tara.
You're welcome, beautiful. Naomi, I feel a mother energy with you, but you've already had a reading, so I will just say hello. I'm seeing a lot of hellos, but they all of a sudden came in. But I'd like to go to David, please. They do that. Once in a while, I get this rush of energy, but I'm going to go to David. David, can I come to you, please? Hello, sir. Are you going to unmute or am I going to read lips? Because my lip reading ain't all up to par, my friends.
It works. Hi.
There we go. First of all, Happy New Year, my friend. Thank you for always sending me kind messages like that. You make my day.
Oh, you're welcome.
And and now I'm going to maybe not make yours, but I'm going to say it. Sir, I feel for you a sense of completion. I feel that over the course of the next few months, my friend, that the guides that are working with you, and I feel 2 male energies specifically, are shifting you in a bit of a different direction. If there's anything to do with flying with you, please, I want you to remember that right now it is better for your feet to be on the ground. I cannot tell you why, but I feel right now, feet on the ground, I feel like that's for a very short period of time, my friend. And then you will be lifted back up again. I also want to say to you, please, there is feminine energy around you that needs to be adjusted. Yeah, I'm looking too. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I was like, oh dear. So there's some energy there, please, that I just feel needs to be tweaked. I don't feel anything necessarily wrong, but I feel as though we are tweaking something. And I feel that energy comes with a sense of knowing what it is that you truly are trying to achieve. So this year feels both complicated and coming full circle. And I feel the complication is only what you make of it. So now that you are aware that there is that feeling of complication, you have a choice. The choice is to like dive straight into it and be like, yeah, I can take on anything, sister. I can handle it all. And then it doesn't become complicated anymore. Now it becomes, you know, the challenge that you are worthy of conquering. Again, it does have a good feel coming full circle. That means that you complete what it is you're looking for. Know that any obstacles or challenges that come in your way are just that, and you simply will walk over them because I can read your mind. That's what I was going to say. That's not true. I cannot read your mind. Let me just clear that for everyone. Cannot read people's minds. But I can read your aura, and I feel like you are in a strong place. Oh my goodness, no one's ever going to come back to me now, right, Nancy? But you are in a strong place. You are firmly set, and please just remember, there is something about fly. It's not a negative thing. Like, I'm not saying to you, if you get into a plane, you're going to have an accident. Spirit doesn't come like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there is something to do with either a work or a hobby to do with flying that maybe is not doing what you want it to do right now, but it's for a very small period of time.
All right.
That's a lot of energy. When this goes on YouTube, you can watch it again and take notes. Okay, ladies, is there anything else we add? We went over by about 10 minutes. Our shows are going to get longer and longer if we do this. Can I bring it to a lovely close?
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone that joined us tonight. I hope that as we continue to grow in these episodes, this is only episode 2. We kind of get the timing down a little bit, but that you really got a little something out of it. Whether it's just some wisdom, some knowledge, maybe it's a message from one of us, but that you enjoyed the time as much as the 4 of us have enjoyed the time. And as always, to my soul sisters, there are no other women on this planet I would rather do this kind of work with. Some of you have been with me for ever and ever and ever. We've watched our kids grow up together. Some of you are brand new to my space. And just coming in like a bull in a china shop and getting things done I could never get done. So I'm grateful. And some of you just hold my energy and keep me sane. And that I appreciate as well. So I bid you all a farewell. And if you're interested in coming back on the 20th, we'll see you then. Have a great evening, guys. Thank you.
Bye,
Night.
everyone. Thank you for
Take
coming.
care. Love and light to
Have a
all.
good evening.
Bye, babies.
Mwah.
Bye.